Over the past few decades, the Afghan people have been the victim of continuous proxy war of Pakistan, a country that has played a sinister role in keeping the war ablaze. An unholy coalition of the Pakistani state, narco-mafia and other terrorist groups has caused unimaginable death and destruction in Afghanistan. The overwhelming majority of Afghans are now calling on Pakistan to stop supporting proxy groups that kill and destroy for the petty interests of Pakistani military. A report.
With each passing day, the situation in Afghanistan is worsening. The Taliban have captured most of the rural parts of the country, and the security forces are concentrating their efforts to stop them from entering urban centers. In such a vulnerable moment, neighboring Pakistan is testing the waters and is trying to take advantage. Therefore, Afghan nationals and residents living in different countries are asking the world to turn its eyes on Pakistan's double game in war-torn country. They are blaming Pakistan's strategic depth policy for unbearable suffering of Afghans along both sides of the Durand Line. Recently, Canadian Pashtuns staged protests in Toronto against Pakistan's proxy war in Afghanistan and highlighted the South Asian country's support to the Taliban in ongoing Afghan conflict.
This is a proxy war. Afghanistan has been in a proxy war for the last 40 years. The only person behind all of this is Pakistan. Pakistan is funding their Talibans. They are waiting at the border to cross Afghanistan. It is not just a war for Afghanistan, it's a proxy war. We have lost millions of lives. People are dying every day and nobody is here right now to help us. Nobody, unless we unite each other and we stand in solidarity against Pakistan and against the United States of America who has left us. We have had no help since the war that has began 40 years ago. If you still believe that it is Afghanistan Talibs, if you still think that, why can't you understand that it's Imran Khan? He's the one who's been funding the Taliban for the last 20, 40 years. He's the one who has killed us. It's a proxy war.
The majority of Afghans believe that since the days of the Afghan resistance against the Soviet invasion in the 1980s, Pakistan has been playing a ruthless game of manipulation with both the Afghans and their largest sponsor, the United States. Their belief is strongly supported by many strategic experts and leaders around the world. For instance, recently former Canadian politician and diplomat Chris Alexander also accused Pakistan of engaging in an act of aggression against neighboring Afghanistan.
We call upon the international community, the United Nations and other international organizations to impose strong political, economic and military sanctions on Pakistan for creating, harboring and sponsoring terrorism through haunting Afghanistan, the region and the world. We appeal to the United Nations to play a strong and effective intermediary role in urging Pakistan, the Taliban, and other players involved in this conflict for an immediate, unconditional, and comprehensive ceasefire in Afghanistan.
Afghan officials have long maintained that Pakistan provides shelter and military support to the Taliban. Recently, Pakistan's Interior Minister Sheikh Rashid Ahmad stated that families of Afghan Taliban reside in his country, including in the capital city of Islamabad. He also admitted that the Taliban receive medical treatment in Pakistani hospitals. Therefore, many experts in Afghanistan believe that the Taliban would not engage in a meaningful dialogue with Ashraf Ghani government as long as the Pakistani military and intelligence continue to give sanctuary to terrorists. Afghans believe that if Pakistan really wants to show its sincerity, it needs to immediately force the Taliban leaders to either compromise or leave their sanctuaries in Pakistan.
Taliban have sanctuaries across the border where they run, hide, recruit, and come back. Unless the world put proper pressure on those who sponsor terrorism and stop Taliban, close their sanctuaries, their Islamic madrasas, we will not see peace in Afghanistan.
There will be no peace in Afghanistan unless and until Pakistan stops its covert proxy war in the war-torn nation. What Pakistan is doing is a threat to international peace and security, and hence concerted international action is needed to stop its terror game.